Listen, if you run an agency or a coaching business that relies on taking sales calls, what is your closing percentage? From those sales calls, how many people end up buying your high ticket offer, your mid ticket offer, or your low ticket offer? And more importantly, how many people don't close? Is it 90%? Is it 80%? Maybe it's 60%? And what if I told you that there's a way to push a few extra deals over the line every single week just by sending a few DMs? Well, with one of my clients, we booked 700 calls per month, and after all the no-shows and cancellations, we closed 33% of them, which means we don't close 67% of our deals. So we started thinking about all the money that we lose to our non-closed deals and created a process to win back 15% of those non-closed deals just by sending a few DMs after the sales call. I'll be giving you that entire process in 3 simple steps by showing you the actual re-engagement process that we use, the scripts behind it, as well as the actual sales process to get prospects over the line. With this process, if you have 10 sales calls, 3 close, 7 don't close, you'll have a direct way of getting one more extra deal over the line so that you can increase your revenue and your ROI. So here's how you turn your lost sales calls back into sales. And it all starts by actually getting a response like this. And I'm actually going to show you and give you away the actual scripts behind getting these responses and how we get them. But what these responses are actually the prospects acknowledging why they didn't move forward with you on that call. And I'm going to show you how to get to this point. So for B2B, it's getting an answer like this, right? I'm going to be frank, I was not certain what you actually do. So the prospect lacked understanding and they didn't see the actual value behind what we do and what we can help them with. With B2C, here's another one, right? I simply can't afford it as my husband has lost their job. Essentially, the prospect is giving us the exact reason why they left that call with the closer or with you and didn't buy. And then the goal is to get them from this to this by giving them a power offer, which I'm going to get into here in a second as well. So the principle behind actually getting prospects to acknowledge the reason for why they didn't move forward with you is understanding the actual buy scale and the dynamics of someone moving forward with you and buying from you or not buying from you for any given reason. And the buy scale is when all of their objections, all of the reasons for why they should not buy get outweighed by the value and your sales argument on the call. So this bucket of objections on this scale gets outweighed and outbalanced where now they actually want to give you money and buy from you. And some of the most common objections, and you're probably getting this on your sales calls as well, is going to be price, right? And usually the price objection is directly because they don't see enough value in your product. There's also timing objections. It's the wrong time. I can't start right now. I need to start next month. You might have heard this a lot on your sales calls. Authority, right? I need to talk to my husband. I need to talk to the person above me. If it's a B2B sale, trust. They don't trust you enough. I don't know you enough, right? Competitors. I actually want to check out what these people are doing first before moving forward with you. And understanding. This example here, it came down to the prospect not actually understanding the product enough to move forward with it. All of these objections, these need to be the real objection, not decoy objections, right? A lot of the times, the first objection a prospect gives you isn't really the real objection, but also with this, you need to recognize that sometimes price really is an issue. Some people just literally cannot pay you. You cannot make them have more money by going deeper into their objections. If you do get these objections and you end up losing that call, actual sale isn't lost yet because you can go back to the scale, to the value scale, the buy scale, and if you can help the prospect in their own mind outweigh all of the objections they have and all of the reasons they have not to buy and show them why this is actually going to help them and why that help is worth more than all of these reasons, they're gonna buy it. And you can do this through the DMs, which I'm gonna get into here. The other thing you need to understand is that you already have an upper hand when you do fail a sales call. The reason for that is because when you're starting a conversation, you have zero leverage with the actual prospect. You don't know the prospect. They don't know you. You don't know what pain points they have exactly. When you get past the sales call, even if you fail the sales call, you have the most leverage you're ever gonna have with that prospect. So when you lose them, you're gonna slowly start losing that leverage as time passes. But after a failed sales call, you know all of their pains, you know all of their desires, you know everything about the prospect, and usually the prospect knows almost everything about you. So there's a lot of trust already built up. So here's how you actually apply this and get people back into your program. It's done with a 15-day win-back sequence, which again, I'm going to be showing you the scripts for here. The principles behind the sequence is number one, having an authority frame. So if you have a business where you use closers, make sure that in this sequence, it's not the closers messaging them, it's actually you as the face of the brand, so that they feel important and they feel very cared about. You also need to have the feedback frame, as in This sequence is about you getting feedback and not trying to keep pushing them over the line or try to keep selling them. And the last frame you need to have is a value frame. But the whole point of having these 3 principles in this win back sequence is to not make it like you're just trying to money grab from them, since the prospect already knows the price of your program. You're not trying to grab their money, you're just trying to provide more value, as much value as possible, to the point where they end up asking you to get back into the program and get that chance to buy from you again. This starts with emails and text messages. So here are the actual step-by-step scripts for this sequence. Day 1, right? So this is 24 to 48 hours after the call is lost by you or your closer. Hey, first name, your name here, whatever your name is. Saw you chatted with one of our advisors about the program, so the name of your program, and I wanted to apologize that we didn't make you feel confident, comfortable, and certain enough to make a decision to move forward with us. You're taking the blame. You're not pushing them over to anything. With that said, I would appreciate your honest feedback. We're following the feedback frame here. The email here, you can pause the video. It asks the same exact thing in a different manner. 24 hours later, you bump the message. Any thoughts on the above name? Thanks. By the way, you don't have to do any of these messages manually. You can automate them or semi-automate them, and actually made a video on this entire flow. You can find out exactly how to automate this process and run it on autopilot by just watching that video there. After another 48 hours, you're gonna send this message. Hey, first name, want a recent training. So this could be a recent webinar you did. It could literally be a recent lead magnet you created, a recent live call you did with your students, where we gave away a few actionable steps to do XYZ desire. What does your avatar desire? That's what you insert here. It could possibly help you get on track and start making progress. Drop a thumbs up and I'll fire it over. By the way, guys, it's very important to make responding to your messages, especially to your follow-up messages, very easy and fun, right? So dropping an emoji, a thumbs up emoji, maybe dropping a fire emoji works really well because it makes responding really effortless. 24 hours after this, hey, first name, hope you're winning this week. Just wanted to share a few wins from Avatar. If it's men, women, people, clients, whoever you're working with, and then you share their actual wins. So name, achieved XYZ, just actual wins that apply to your program, because these people, what they're achieving here, this is exactly what the prospect wants to achieve. They desire this. So you're sharing that people in your program are winning. You're sharing case studies here. Then you're asking them, what is your biggest win this week? And what is your single most important question to win next week? So do you see how we're slowly transitioning here into the value frame? Even with the case study follow-up question, we have and we hold that value frame. 48 hours later, this is when you have your power offer. The sequence is 15 days. This is on 5 to 7 days into the sequence. Hey, first name, we're testing something new out this week that is meant to help those who are the most determined to put an end to XYZ problem, what problem your avatar deals with. And after chatting with my team, I know you're one of those people. Want me to send over some more info? All good either way if you don't, right? You're saying that you have something to help them get in the program because they are that special person. But you also have an authority frame where you're detached from the sale because you're saying all good if you don't. Email says the same exact thing. If you want the emails, just pause the video. From here, there's 2 things that can happen. They can keep ghosting you or they can reply. And by the way, if you want the entire messaging sequence for the whole 15 days, join the school. I'll help you create a follow-up sequence that's tailored to your actual business and what you sell. Keep sending them value follow-ups to them that are relevant to them. You follow up on relevance. What is relevant to their pain, as well as sending them new trainings that you create. And then if the 15-day sequence ends and you don't get your response, they get enrolled into the Setter Follow-Up Forever sequence. This is a sequence that has quasi-periodic follow-ups, meaning that they don't send on an everyday basis where the person can expect them. They send every 10 to 15 days, sending emails and texts to their prospects. And this Setter Follow-Up Forever sequence, just like the name indicates, it runs forever. So it never stops following up, providing value to the prospect. A lot of people are scared to do things like this, but when they don't do things like this, they just waste their leads, because the truth is, if you don't get your prospects on the phone, if you don't help your prospects, a lot of the times, the prospects won't change their own situation. They're not gonna change their own scenario. If someone does reply to you, here's the sequence that you're gonna follow. You're gonna find out why they didn't move forward, the real reason they didn't move forward on the sales call, why they didn't close. Then you're gonna do the re-offer based on their objection. So for example, if a person had an authority objection where they said, I can't move forward because of my spouse, you can give them a spouse discount. The person says that it was generally a money thing, they cannot afford your service, they cannot afford your program. For those, you can have an actual discount or a promotion that you're running. And here's a message that you can use for that as well. The first thing, there's some balloons, that's nice. The first thing is they're gonna say yes, right? If they say no, by the way, I mean, it's just simple. It's just goodbye. You send them some free resources and there's not much you can do. You can't keep handling that objection because that's the true objection and they can't do anything about it, but at least now you know that's why they're for sure not moving forward. If they say yes, you offer them a catch-up call, and these people always close, because if they say yes to a message like this in the DMs, which they will, then they're already pre-closed before they even get onto that catch-up call. And usually that catch-up call just lasts 10 to 15 minutes just to set some things in stone and then get them paid and into your program. It's as simple as that. And one thing that's also very important with the catch-up call is if they chatted with your closer previously on that last call where they didn't sell, this call needs to be with you if that's scalable enough in your business, because if this call is with you, they're going to feel important enough and cared enough for, which will also increase the closing percentage. So guys, this is the entire sequence that's going to bring back at least one of your 7 lost calls on autopilot. Now, if you want the entire script in this video and you want custom scripts to your business, join the school below. And when you do need your acquisition process optimized or your sales process built out to get a 70% reply rate, a 20% booking rate, and a 30+% closing rate in your business, book a call with me below and we're going to scale your acquisition process.